Hello, everyone, and welcome back. As always, I'm your girl, Candy Washington, and I am honored to have my friend with me tonight, Ursula from Black Girls Getting Their Shift Together. If you want to follow her and see what she's up to, I will have her YouTube channel linked in the description box down below. But before we dive into today's review, recap, just over, you know how we do it over here at the Candy Cane Gang. We talk about everything that's going on with the ladies, overarching themes. But before we dive in, you guys know what to do. Hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, and share with a friend because a key is always better with community. And don't forget to check out the description box below and shop the Love Collection. We have tons of goodies down there, so be sure to shop the Love Collection and treat yourself. So with that, let's dive in. Welcome, Ursula. Thank you for joining me.
Hey, Candy. I am so excited. You know, I always love talking to you all the time.
You do. For you guys who don't know, Ursula really covers mental health and self-care and wellness and manifestation and just being really having self-awareness and confidence. She's amazing. She's great. So definitely check out her show. So with that, let's dive in. Let's start with, hey, Darren. Hi, that's right, candy canes. As you come into the room, say hi, drop your candy canes. Darren says, hey, Ursula. Hey, Candy. Hey, Darren. What's up, sweetheart?
How are you, Darren?
Yes, thank you for coming through. All right, let's get started. Now, let's start with, I think the biggest piece is Anila's, well, we have a couple of big pieces, but let's start with Anila's break-in. Now, I personally don't rock with Anila. I think she's really boring. I think she's flat. I could leave her on the show. I don't know why she's still there. Even with this break-in, I still don't think that she's interesting. But I want to know your thoughts. What do you think about Anila? And then what do you think about the break-in? Do you think that it's just an insurance scam where they planned it themselves to get some insurance money? Or do you think that, you know, it was really like a setup, like someone targeted her and set it up? Or do you think it was just, unfortunately, her house got robbed? What do you think?
So I'm going to say this with as much empathy as possible. One, I do not think it was a setup at all, but we'll talk about those details after. I don't think it was a setup. Mm-hmm. I think it was definitely an unfortunate experience that happened to her. Maybe because she's on reality TV. It seemed like she played it up more for the cameras, you know, with her and her blogs. I hate the way she says the word blog, by the way.
Me too.
You do too? I hate it. It's very annoying.
This is the thing. I hate the way she says blog. I'm blogging. However, what is her blog? And she's never mentioned one campaign she's ever had. And I looked at her Instagram and I was like, I don't do influencer marketing that much anymore. But when I was an Instagram influencer, and even today, I still have more brand campaigns than she does.
Really?
Yeah. Because I know a brand campaign when I see one, and I didn't see any brand campaigns on her Instagram.
It makes me wonder. So I haven't looked her up on Instagram. However, I've heard other YouTubers say that she's not as much of an influencer as she will want us to think she is.
She's not.
And I don't know how reality TV works. I don't know if I was on, I'd be like Candy. Candy is going to throw her brands out. So what is I don't know Anila's last name. Like, I just know her name is Anila from
Married to Medicine. Yep. Oh, so what were you going to say? Break-in?
Yeah, I don't think it was planned or a heist. And I think they need to be very careful on throwing out those allegations. And to me, I felt like that went too far. It was almost reminiscent of Phaedra when she threw out those allegations about Candy and her sex dungeon, her dungeon. Mm-hmm. And look where that got Phaedra. So they need to be very careful. And then when they start doing that, to me, it takes the fun, the kiki out of reality TV.
100%. I agree with that. I think that her friend Carrie Wells was dead wrong. So Carrie went out there on Twitter and she was also saying it to like Dr. Heavenly and to other people that like, oh, is there an echo?
Uh-oh.
Is that me? I think it might be a little echo.
Let me turn my mic down a little bit.
Okay. Like, I think her friend Carrie Wells was dead wrong. She went on Twitter, and then also she said to Dr. Heavenly and to all these other people, oh, Toya said that there was a hit against Anila a couple days before she had the robbery. Now, first of all, a hit means that somebody's out to kill someone. It doesn't mean that there's a robbery. So I don't know why you're using the term hit. And also, you better have proof before you allege that someone has knowledge of or is involved in a felony robbery. That is huge. I agree with you. The only way that I think Anila was targeted was the same way that like Marlo was targeted, the same way that Mariah Carey was targeted, the same way that Dorit was targeted. Like, all of those people were targeted just because they, they're on the reality show, they're quote unquote famous, whatever you want to call that. They're showing all the stuff they have on social media. Right. That is what made her a target, not Toya and not anybody else. So I think Miss Quad, sit down. The little bit of likability that I had for Quad went out the door. I don't know
like her either.
No, I can't stand Quad anymore. Why is Quad all up Dr. Heavenly's butt? Like, does she not know Dr. Heavenly is the one who started and then perpetuated the rumor that she was sleeping with a married man, aka her contractor? So what are your thoughts on that? What are your thoughts on that rumor?
With Quad?
Yeah.
I don't know her, but I can see that happening.
I don't know her.
Allegedly. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. And you said Heavenly started that? She sure did.
Heavenly is the one who brought it to the show.
She said it on her show, right?
She said it on YouTube and she said it on Married to Medicine. Because remember, it was like the first few episodes when Dr. Heavenly and Dr. Contessa were beefing really hard. And then Dr. Heavenly went to lunch with Anila and they were like, it was weird. They were at like the mall. Like, it was like the mall eatery. It wasn't like a restaurant fancy. They were like at the mall eatery and they were at the table. And I don't know why Dr. Heavenly thought whispering would work, but because you're mic'd up. And she was whispering to Anila and she was like, yeah, she slept with a married man and all this other stuff. And then it came out that the married man allegedly was the contractor. So it was Dr. Heavenly that brought it to the show. And it was Dr. Heavenly that said on our YouTube channel. Because remember in the intervention, it was even one of the clips.
Sure was.
It was one of the clips.
Sure was. And it's so funny because what is that analogy with the boy who cried wolf all the time? That's how I see Heavenly, because she'll do stupid stuff like this, but then when it came to what's her name? Not Toya.
Mariah?
No. Eugene. Toya. When she told Toya or whispered to her, like, they're talking about, I really don't think she was being messy.
I agree.
You agree? So if you and I are out and if someone's saying something, whether if it's true or not, this is a rumor about Candy, I'm going to tell you because you're my girl. Like, look, Candy, this is what's going on. I really feel like that's what Mariah was doing. But see, all that other messy stuff from before, you see how that reputation just followed her.
Yep. Because that's the thing. It's like you do dirt so many times. The one time your hands are clean, everybody's still going to throw shots at you because you're so dirty. You're right. It is the boy who cried wolf. Because I agree with you. 99% of the time, I don't rock with Dr. Heavenly. No. But in this particular situation, I was like, she's actually trying to have Toya's back.
Exactly.
It was like the one time.
One time out of how many years?
The one time. Exactly.
Heavenly needs some serious healing.
Yes, she does. Like that's a whole sermon on its own. That woman is just. And did you notice? Like, okay, I was trying. I'm a work in progress. I was trying to have empathy towards Dr. Heavenly because her mother passed, and I think that's like condolences. That's awful. But did you notice how none of the women, other than Quad, who's always up her butt, they didn't even ask. Even Dr. Jackie is very callous to me. She's very callous. She's very callous. And did you notice how even when Dr. Heavenly was trying to confide in Dr. Jackie, she was like, okay, well, it's a process. Click.
I think she has ice water running through her veins.
Dr. Jackie, to me, I think on the inside, I think she's very
empty.
Very empty. Very empty. No, why does nobody talk about her ED? She definitely has something going on with her relationship to food, her OCD.
Yeah.
Like there's something going on there with Dr. Jackie. The only eating broccoli and chicken.
Some dry ass chicken. And that chicken.
Exactly.
I eat it, but that was
there's something going on. There's something going on with her. But speaking of Dr. Jackie, I do have to say, I want her new doctor, Dr. Bullard. I want to start a change.org petition. I want to get Dr. Bullard to replace Audra because I cannot stand Audra.
Really?
Audra is a type of chick. If I was in a group, I would just not associate with her. Audra is not my type of person. No.
She's not my type either, just for the simple fact of her being violent, physically violent. But don't you think listeners, I do not. Let me look in the camera. Listeners, I do not condone violence.
Yep.
But Toya, we have to admit, Toya started it. Do you agree or no? I mean, just by she kept bothering her, but a physical response is not warranted. But
okay, rock with me on this and let me know what you think. Okay, so this is the thing. I actually think that Audra is started the entire beef from day one between her and Toya, and I'm going to tell you why. So Audra was brought on as Dr. Heavenly's friend because nobody was messing with Dr. Heavenly. She had nobody to talk to, the whole intervention. She was brought on as Dr. Heavenly's friend, aka mouthpiece. It was very, very clear that Dr. Heavenly had been feeding Audra stuff about Toya over and over and over again. You could just tell that Dr. Heavenly, because we all know how Dr. Heavenly feels about Toya, and that she was bad-mouthing her, winding her up. So she felt then she had to go and windmill and do all this on behalf of Dr. Heavenly. Now, at the very first time Audra came on the scene, I believe it was Toya. She was either talking to Dr. Heavenly or I think the echo's back. She was either talking to Dr. Heavenly or talking to somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
I forget. They were talking about something at the table, and Audra inserted herself in the conversation. And I forgot exactly what they were talking about, but Audra, it was the first time we ever met this chick, inserted herself in the conversation against Toya for the other person. Nobody asked Audra her opinion. And that's when Toya said to her, well, you're not a very good lawyer. And then that's when Audra started to pop off and go nuts. But the only reason why Toya said that was because Audra inserted herself, as she has been doing every single time she's on the scene. Because I think behind the scenes, Dr. Heavenly had talked so much stuff about Toya. And if you think about it, even fast forward to this episode before that, when they were all at the dinner, everything that Audra was saying against Toya were the buzzwords that Dr. Heavenly and the other women use. Oh, you only care about labels. You don't know how to budget. All of that. Audra, how do you know that? First of all, you don't know Toya. Secondly, you just got on the scene, and the other lady seems like they don't even know you either. Dr. Heavenly, quiet as kept, doesn't act like she really checks for you. She just needed somebody. But yet she has all this smoke for Toya, and yet she has all these buzzwords that they've been saying about her forever. Where did she get that from? From Dr. Heavenly. And I think that is why. And then I personally think Toya could care less about Audra. She's like, I pay you dust. But Audra is so pressed to windmill for Dr. Heavenly. And then also, but then on that weird, you know how people's personalities are. Then on that weird flip side, she's also so pressed for Toya's approval and attention and friendship and acceptance. So that when Toya is being Toya, like her or not, and she says, girl, why are you wearing champagne when we're out here in Vegas? Why are you wearing jeans and sneakers? I don't think that Toya is saying that to start anything with Audra. I think that's just how Toya is. Toya would have said that about me if I walked in the door, and she doesn't even know me. She would have said that about anybody who walked in the door, but Audra personalizes it.
Isn't that funny how I'm listening to you talk and I feel like you're on point because how Audra looks, I don't know what to say, looks up to Toya or seeks her approval.
Yes.
But Toya seeks the approval of the other women. It just seems like they're all hazing each other.
100%.
I will tell you, when Audra stood up in that dinner party, bringing the receipts, I wanted to pull my locks out of my hair. She was so annoying. I was like, sis, you are doing way too much. You just sit down. She made herself look like an ass that night. She really did. She not only did she understand the assignment, she went above and beyond. That's not a good look.
It's not a good look. And the whole calculator thing at the holiday party, girl, sit down. Again,
yes.
Toya was paying you dust. Like, Toya didn't come to the party for you, but yet you literally went to Target and bought a calculator to bring it and thought you were going to have a moment when you just look like a fool.
Straight, this is dumb. She looked dumb. She really did.
Girl, bye. She looked dumb all the way around. It was like, it was calculated. And it fell. But it fell all the way flat. So what do you think about Toya? Like, I think Toya actually has been depressed. And I'm not a doctor. I don't diagnose. But I think that Toya has been a bit depressed. And I also think she probably has some shopaholic in her, where it's like, you know how some people will, like, they'll feel empty or they'll feel sad or they'll feel depressed or they'll feel not good enough and they'll drink or they'll have sex or they'll do drugs or they'll withdraw or they won't eat or they'll overeat. I think with Toya, I think a lot of it is caught up in her spending.
Oh my God. I agree with that. It's caught up in the spending, and it, just like you said, it's no different than eating, drinking, sexing, drugging, overworking, being a workaholic. Yeah, it's a coping mechanism. And I think allegedly she finds her value in her self-worth in labels. So whichever cast member said that, I do agree with that. And which makes sense why she would judge Audra the way Audra is dressed. Because I really don't think Audra really cares, but she is pressed for Toya's acceptance. But I forgot, I think it could have been 3 episodes ago, that episode when Toya was talking to her coach or her therapist, and she was saying that episode. I agree. Again, I'm not a therapist, but I've been in therapy. Yes. She seemed dead, like something was lost inside of her. I don't know. It wasn't that I didn't see the show persona of Toya. To me, I think she was really being authentic because she 100%. She looked depleted. Yeah, I could definitely relate to that feeling because I'm sure I was looking like that when I first started therapy. Like, just give me some answers. I don't know. Help me. But something's lacking. What? I don't know. Which makes sense why she overspends, because that whole house situation is ridiculous. And to come up, and you know what do you think? If Eugene is an enabler, I don't know. Yes. I love that you said that, because this is the thing, right? Everyone's always like, well, Eugene allows it. Yeah, because he's an enabler. Eugene also has to do the work and to fix himself, so he no longer feels he has to enable someone who needs to fix themselves, right? But again, it's like, to me, that's another reason why I think the overspending is it's a mental and emotional thing. To get into debt once, to have your taxes messed up once, to have to move once or twice, we get it. Sorry. Right. But when it becomes a pattern, and almost expected from her. And when it becomes a pattern, then to me it is it's a symptom of something bigger going on. Let's use the example of alcohol. I could go out one night, get blackout wasted, puke, go nuts, go crazy, and everyone's like, oh my God, that was insane. What is going on?
But if it's like once in a blue moon, like one, like totally out of character, and I'm like, whoa, I had too much to drink that night. Am I an alcoholic? No. Did I overindulge one night? Yes. But if that becomes a problem, if it happens all the time, if I'm constantly getting drunk, if I'm constantly blacking out, if I can't get through the day without drinking, then that's indicative of a problem. So if we look at Toya, where it's, you know, the houses and the clothes and the this and the that, this has been going on for year after year after year after year, where it is, where to me it's a deeper problem than just I want to look cool. And I think and I believe 100% what Toya said tonight on the episode when she was talking to, I think it was Simone, and she goes, "Yeah, you guys never check on me because I'm strong, but if I was weak, you would see how I'm doing. But you guys don't check on me because I'm the strong one, right?" Because she was saying how it hurt her that they were talking about her marriage and they were talking about the infidelity rumors and all of that, but she was like, "But none of y'all checked on me." And I think that, to me, that really proved that Toya really is hurting. And she said she wasn't happy. She said she didn't expect her life to end up this way and all of that stuff. So I think Toya's hurting. Maybe she's going through a midlife crisis. Like, who knows what's going on? But I think the overspending and the labels and all of that, I think it's because she's coping with something that's deeper inside. And maybe something that used to, you know, like for again, we'll go back to drinking because it's an easy analogy. You know, say you go home and you're like, "Oh, I had a tough day, I'm gonna have a glass of wine." So what used to just help you unwind, now it's, "Oh, I need to start my day. I need to take a drink. Oh, I this thing happened. I need a drink. Oh, we're going that. I need a drink. I'm feeling sad. I need a drink. I'm feeling happy. I need a drink." So what used to just be a, you know, quasi healthy escape, maybe with Toya, with the shopping, with this, that, and a third, easily can snowball into something bigger. And I agree with her that the women, and it's exactly like you said, you're like, "Oh, she didn't look like her persona on the show. She looked like authentic." But I think that's the problem. Like, the women, I think, only choose to view Toya as this shopaholic, you know, ghetto fabulous girl who just wants that life. But they refuse to view Toya through the lens of humanity. And that's what she was asking for. She was just like, "Oh, you don't check on me because you think I'm good. You think I'm this, you think I'm that, but you don't check on me."
Right. You know, it makes me wonder, if they did look at her as a human or through humanity's eyes, as you say, that they would ask her why, the big why question. But my opinion, I feel that Black women, we wear that strong Black woman as a badge. So then when we are feeling broken down for whatever is going on, "Well, you didn't check on me." Well, you really weren't that transparent, or that mask was like, "Oh, I'm good." But you know, I just think she is hurting. Which makes sense why she's getting more houses, and you can only explain so many house purchases.
And Eugene is an enabler, but it's like anybody. Say you have a drug habit and your boyfriend enables you. Say you're a drinker and your husband enables you. You know, say you have an ED and your parents enable you. You know, people usually, because these dependencies are not just drugs and alcohol. We have dependencies on a lot of things. And usually somebody with that type of personality where that dependency escalates to this level, they do attract people who enable that behavior.
Oh, you said a word, Candy. Yes. Can we talk about how let me ask you this question. Do you feel that she disrespects Eugene?
Yes. That's a hard yes. I think that this is what I think. I think Toya wanted two different things, and she picked Eugene, who had one of the things that she wanted. I think a part of Toya wanted a very, like, you know, dude who's gonna like put it down, and he's that guy, and blah 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 blah, and you know that you know what I'm talking about, like a hood dude.
Yeah.
And then I think that she also wanted a guy that she knew would stay and that she knew would provide, because I do think that even though her life has been very unstable, I think what she actually is seeking in the wrong ways is actually stability, because usually the people with the most chaotic lives, what they're craving is stability, but they don't know how to get it in a healthy way. So I think that what Toya really wanted was stability. She wanted a man that she knew would not leave, and I think that's what she found in Eugene. But there's still that part of her that wants that crunk, that, you know, put it down, that sense of danger, the bad guy. So instead of her being able to say, you know what, no one person can give me everything, but what Eugene gives me is enough. And whatever I think I'm going to get out of this bad boy, what actually is that feeling? And then how can I get that feeling, but in a healthy way?
Right.
And I think that is what's missing. And so since she feels this disconnect, since she feels, in my opinion, resentment to the man who actually gives her everything she says she wanted, but because he's not giving her the part that she still craves, she still resents him for not being the superhuman person that has everything in the world that she wants. No one person can give you everything.
No.
So she still resents him for that. And the way that shows up is, oh, his penis isn't big enough. Oh, like we're not having sex. Oh, I got to pleasure myself. Oh, it's emasculating him. It's putting him down. It's talking about his manhood. So it's like everything that drew her to him, which is his true masculinity, which is being a provider and being someone who stays, is actually everything about him that she's trying to attack and destroy.
Oh, Candy, you said a word. I love what you said about her. Pretty much, she doesn't have all her check boxes marked off. And when you said about her being resentful, it definitely comes out very much as being passive aggressive.
Yes.
Because there is no way any man that I've had relationships with that I could talk about their penis size or any other man that I've been with, even though as good as it would have been, I'm not gonna say that on national TV.
So disrespectful.
Very much.
And if we reverse gender roles, if Eugene said, "Oh, I wish Toya had bigger boobs," we'd be up in arms. We'd be up in arms. How dare he talk about his wife's boob size?
She would burn that place down.
She would burn it down. Or quiet as it's kept if he was like, "Oh, I wish Toya would lose some weight." Could you imagine? But yet she has the audacity to get up here and talk about the size of his penis.
And you see how it can be thrown back? Because look what Heavenly said at the last couple of minutes of the last episode about her man's penis, is that he's big. My man's penis is big. Oh, that was directed towards Toya.
Of course it was.
Of course Eugene. It was. I said, Eugene can't catch a break.
He can't catch a break. What do you think of Dr. Heavenly and Dr. Damon? And then we'll get into a couple of my candy cane questions before we wrap it up.
That's a good question. I think that Heavenly is fake when it comes to their marriage, because no one's marriage is that fake. Excuse me, marriage is that perfect.
Yep.
So for her to continuously say, "We're fine, it's perfect over here." No, ma'am. Not saying I know what's going on, but that's just no one. Not saying that you have to have toxicity and drama all the time, but no one's marriage is that perfect. And I think Heavenly's full of stuff.
I agree 100%. I think she's full of it. And I also think that does protest too much. Like, to me, it's like it's what Dr. Francis said on The Real Housewives of Huntsville.
I love Dr. Francis.
I love Dr. Francis.
We need to go on another time and talk about that.
Yes. I love Dr. Francis. When he said, You keep fighting for the truth, but the truth stands. And I was like, boom. Because the truth is, if you have to continuously fight, show, prove, you know what I mean? You keep trying to sell us on your marriage, then that means your marriage isn't really anything. And the people who pretend are the people with the most to protect and hide. And I'm going to tell you this. There is a part of me that thinks that Dr. Damon behind the scenes is Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. There's a part of me that thinks like Dr. Damon is this very docile, nice bear who doesn't say anything. In public, she cuts him off and she talks like she's quite. Dr. Heavily is disrespectful as hell to Dr. Damon, to be honest.
Oh, yes.
Every time he opens his mouth to say something, she cuts him off. And then she finishes a sentence. He's trying to have a conversation with somebody. God forbid it's a woman. She will stand right in front of him and not even allow him to have normal, healthy interactions with people. She's very disrespectful to him. When he's like, stop it, enough, like, stop. She continues. She continues. That's extremely disrespectful. So she talks out of both sides of her mouth. One, I'm submissive. You got to treat your man. You got to do it out. You got to respect him. But then on the other side of her mouth, she completely disrespects Dr. Daddy Damon.
She does.
The reason why I thought that he might have, I don't think it comes out a lot, but I think when it does, it's like when you poke, and then that bear wakes up and claps back at you. I don't mean DV when I do that. Sorry, guys. Because I know we're talking about marriage. I don't think that. But remember the 100th couples dinner that Cecil and Simone did for the book that nobody wants. And Dr. Damon Daddy was really, right? Was really.
The shade is real. Okay.
No, we didn't ask for this. We didn't send it back. We didn't ask for this. When Dr. Damon Daddy was like so pissed at Heavenly because like the whole thing with Contessa, and she kept going, and he was like, didn't I just say like when women do this, it's extremely disrespectful, and she kept doing it. When they left, his silence spoke volumes, and she looked shook. She looked shook. Like, Daddy, I didn't say anything. Daddy,
when she was sitting in the trunk.
She was in the trunk of the car. She got there. She looked shook. And that's when I was just like, there is a side of Dr. Damon Daddy that I think comes out probably very rarely, but when it does, baby, you better watch out, because it's the quiet ones you got to really watch for when they pop off, because they have so much built in that when they blow, they blow. And it wasn't his normal, like, oh, okay, I'm just gonna say a little talk. It was seething. He was seething. And she was shook. And I was like, she's about to get it at home. She knows to get it.
She looked like a third grader sitting in that passenger seat.
She was like, I ain't say nothing, Daddy. I don't know why they put my name in it. And then, ever since then, and this is another reason I know she got it when she got home. Ever since then, her whole narrative, even this last episode when she got mad at Toya, I don't know why they put my name in it. I'm not in it. Don't put my name in it. I'm not in it. Because Dr. Damon got in her butt about being in it. And ever since then, she's been on this tirade of, I didn't start it, Daddy. I wasn't even after the Hollisley party, when they were walking through the car, she goes, I know they popped off, but I wasn't in it, Daddy. And he was like, good, buddy, good. Good job, buddy.
That buddy is the most unsexiest thing. Like,
exactly. And I was like, Dr. Damon Daddy, he laid it down, the law.
Would you call anyone you've dated Daddy?
Not publicly. I'm a lady in the streets.
Oh, Candy, you're so cute. I want to bite your cheeks. Oh, this is some good stuff. Let me get my glasses.
So much fun. Okay, let's take some viewer questions. My beautiful candy canes. If I miss anybody's comment, I'm so sorry. But I'm just going to try and get some questions before wrap it up. All right, let's see. Okay, so Rum Love says something is going on with Dr. Jackie. And then Donna D says, my only problem with Dr. Jackie is that she took that arrogant Curtis back after he cheated. Okay. So I'll say a couple of things and you say what you want to say about Dr. Jackie. So to me, Dr. Jackie, I think she has a unhealthy relationship with food. That's just my personal opinion. I think it's too structured. I just think it's an unhealthy relationship. I'll just leave that there. That's just my own personal opinion. When it comes to Curtis, I think it's like they say for women, it's cheaper to keep her. Ooh. I think that when it came to Dr. Jackie and Curtis, clearly she's the breadwinner. Clearly she has the most money. I think that when it came to a divorce, they have been married for a very, very long time. I don't know what the prenup situation is. I think that Dr. Jackie decided, you know what, we've ridden this long. I want to keep this Bravo check as being quote unquote married to medicine. And also, you can do you, I can do you. We can keep it cordial and do whatever. I think that Dr. Jackie and Curtis have an arrangement. I think he probably has a monthly stipend. He probably has an allowance because he's not working anymore. I don't know how much his retirement money is. He's not? What does Curtis do?
I have no idea. I just know he used to play basketball.
He used to be like a basketball coach or something.
But
like that. I don't know. I think he's retired now or something like that. I could be wrong. I could be totally wrong. This is just what I think. So if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. It's okay.
Yeah, let us know in the comments.
Let us know in the comments. If you know what he does, put it in the comments. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. This is just what I think. So I think that they have an agreement. Like, we've been together for how many decades? We're getting this Bravo check, being a couple on TV. You do you, I'll do me. We can keep it cool. And they sort of have a familial relationship. But I think Dr. Jackie is very strategic and she's really smart. And I think she probably just did the math. She probably borrowed a calculator from Audra and it was like, you know what? It's gonna cost me too much to divorce him. It's cheaper to keep him.
Oh, Candy. This is some good stuff.
That's what I think when it comes to Dr. Jackie and Curtis. I think they're just like, let's just ride this till the wheels fall off. We got a good thing going. You have a wing of the house. I'll have a wing of the house. Don't embarrass me. Don't get caught. Don't be sloppy with it. But I'm going to do me and you're going to do you. And I'm going to keep the 50% of my income and give you the percentage that we agree to. That's what I think. I don't get sexy from them.
No, not at all. My opinion, so y'all don't come for me in the comments. I think she's the most she doesn't exude sexiness. Whether people like Quad or not, Quad, she's a sex kitten. You know, that Dr. Jackie she's like plywood to me. There's no depth. I think she tries to be perfect all the time. And she comes off to me very stoic and she's just quote superwoman. I don't know. I'm not impressed. However, I do appreciate all the accolades, everything that she has she's amassed through the years. It's very impressive, but outside of her being a doctor, she's boring as hell to me.
Yeah, she's a little flat.
Very, and this is the perfect example when they were in that strip club.
And she was just sitting there like this.
With her shawl. I was like, if this grandma does not take this shawl off, that is so unsafe. Come on, Jackie. And she's talking about how she felt moist, and it just seemed so inauthentic. I just don't see it. But I will say this. She's very well respected here in Atlanta. I did not know. Let me back up.
Okay.
So on my personal Facebook page, this was a couple years ago, and I said something like, oh my God, Dr. Jackie is so boring. My friends came for me in the comment section.
No, they did not.
Oh, they were ripping me a new one. Well, apparently, at least a third of them were patients of Dr. Jackie's.
You never know who's watching.
You never know. She helped deliver my baby. She did this. She's my old. Like, they were coming for me. So, but everyone loves her. They love her.
Aw. Thank you so much, Sherry, for the super sticker. That is so sweet. Thank you so much.
Sherry for the win.
Yes, thank you so much for the super sticker. I really
That's
appreciate
awesome.
that. Yes, that helps keeps the light on, guys.
I know it.
All right, let's find a couple more questions and then we are going to call it a night, my beautiful candy canes. Okay, so Young Rich Skinny says Quad should have gotten snatched up though for saying she didn't care about Toya's family. I agree.
I missed that. What happened?
She said she didn't care about Toya's family, I guess.
Was that the last episode?
It must have been the last episode, I'm guessing.
How did I miss that?
Yeah, this is the thing. Quad was basically implying that Toya was part of the felony robbery, so she can't care about her family if she's getting the feds after her. Because at the bare minimum, by saying that, the feds are probably going to at least want to talk to her. And if you're talking to me, you're inserting me into a criminal enterprise situation. Even the question is messed up.
Very much so. Speaking of Quad, she's boring to me this season. I know y'all gonna come for me in the comments. I can only take so much of watching her nephew and her mother at the breakfast bar. I mean, come on. Like, I don't know. I want more. I want more.
Mhm.
Quad she's under this is the radar and this is Quad. She's right. She's right under it. So, this rumor, I'm here for all of it. Like, that's what we want to hear. But
me too.
Audra irritates us.
Yeah. Is the echo back a little? I feel like it goes up and down. I agree with you. To me, Quad, allegedly, I believe the rumor. I think she did sleep with the contractor, and he probably is married. Let's just call a thing. Secondly, with Quad, I don't mean to go all the way in and snatch all her edges, but
oh, girl, do it. I know you can't. Look, she's getting ready.
Quad, miss me with your empowered woman, I did this speech at your housewarming holiday party. This is the truth. This is my truth of you, okay? Because don't come from my channel. This is my truth of you. You got married, you got divorced, you got a settlement, and you bought a house. End of story. Miss me with this, I rose from the ashes like a phoenix, and look, I can now give my mother finally a safe place to stay, and she's happy every morning, and I know I did that. The narcissism, it's the narcissism for me. It's the narcissism for me. Yeah. Why did you have to get up there and tell... I don't know what her mother's situation was or wasn't, but you don't have to get up there and tell that woman's business out there like that. And you don't have to think that you are the one providing your mother happiness. Maybe she wakes up in the morning because God gave her another day. It has nothing to do with you, Quad. Nothing to do with you.
She's going to make it
about narcissism. Her. Of course. And Quad, what do? Last time I checked, Sister Circle was canceled a long time ago. Was that a digital series? I don't even know where I could watch it. Also, somebody said she sold medical devices. I don't know if that's true or not. Quad, what do? Last season, you were a friend of the show. So that wasn't even the check you're getting now or previous seasons. And before, I don't even know if you were on the show even before that. Because you were full-time. We went through the divorce. They cut you back. Friend of, and now you're back. So where did this woman empowerment come from? Did you start a business? Do you have a foundation? I don't know. Are you the CEO of a company we don't know about? I'm confused. This is the thing. You buying your house from your divorce settlement is okay. There is no shade in that. Yes. There is no shame in that. There is nothing, and there's nothing wrong with that. To me, the problem, it's the front. It's the fraud. It's again, I need to put myself in this superwoman category in order to have what I have be valid. When the truth is, you were married to this man, and you deserve the settlement you got.
Mhm.
That is, it doesn't, like, I hate that narrative. Oh, she got the bag, she got the money, she got the settlement, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, she earned that. She deserved that. That's why she has it.
And I love when you said, it's okay. Because I was thinking the same. I was
It's
going to say it, but
okay.
you beat me to it.
Oh,
It's
sorry.
okay. It
It's
really is.
okay.
Hell, I wish I had that set up. I'm not going to lie.
Please.
It's okay.
I would have had the divorce settlement holiday party. I would have kept it all the way funky, all the way 100. I would have been like, I'm divorced and look what I got. And we would have had a party. To me, it's the fronting of it, because I think what is so detrimental about the fronting of it is that it puts this unnecessary pressure on other people to think that their life has to be this extraordinary, look what I did, big up thing, where it's actually just okay to say, hey, I worked this job, I bought this house, I had a divorce, I got this house. Like, we need to normalize being normal.
Oh, you snatched those edges all the way off. So while we're snatching edges, can we can we snatch her auntie's edges off? Because she was getting on my nerves.
I was like, I don't disrespect the elderly, but the chick needs to pipe down.
Yeah.
The chick needs to pipe down.
Ma'am, quiet down. Oh, I was so annoyed. They were doing a lot.
Down. Yes. BH Puff 3 says, I want the book if they really dive in about the real reason they almost got a divorce. I mean, this is the thing. We know the real reason why they almost got, if they do a deep dive. Okay, so for those of you who may not know, the real reason why they got a divorce was because Cecil was having allegedly perhaps an inappropriate relationship with his friend / golfing buddy. Like, they've never said whether or not any physical lines were crossed, but basically it was like a very much an emotional affair, and she did not like it or whatever. But I think that's just a symptom of their root cause. They probably were having other problems. They probably felt disconnected for a long time. So I think that was just one symptom of it. I agree if they deep dive in it, but I've said this from the jump. They didn't need to do a book. They needed to do a podcast. And instead of having these dinners and these Omarosa Zoom parties, each one should have been an episode. They should have already had the podcast ready to go. They should have had about 3 episodes out before the season started. And then as the season was going, for each episode, they should be like, we're interviewing Quad, recently divorced. Let's talk about that journey. Audra and Martin, you guys are newlyweds. You're about to, make it big official. What's your journey like? Well, this is what I can tell you. This is what I can tell you. And then as each episode dropped on the show, it should have dropped simultaneously on their podcast. And then they could have monetized it through sponsorships. And then on the podcast, through sponsorships and downloads, they could have made the money. And then they could have made a cute little ebook. Like, here are top 20 things, whatever, and charged whatever. But this whole, we're writing a book and we're making a book and every single scene is about this book, miss me with that. Nobody's checking for your book, babe.
Not at all. I love what you said about that, about monetizing it. You're right. They could even had Omarosa
on. That's what I'm saying. That should have been
a widow. They didn't get married, but
that should have been a podcast episode.
I would listen. Also, BH Puff 3. I would listen to their podcast as well.
Okay, so they're saying that Curtis is currently a basketball coach at Mount Vernon Presbyterian School. Yeah.
Let me look that up, because
Donna D says, now, Curtis probably just sits around basking in Dr. Jackie's glory. He's too arrogant. I hope Jackie has a side piece. Well, this is the thing. Again, let's switch the genders. If Dr. Jackie was a man and was the breadwinner, would it be okay then if Curtis was a woman to be a kept woman, as they say, or whatever? I think it goes, this is the thing. I think it's fine either way. I think if the man is the breadwinner and the woman doesn't want to work, or I'm not trying to throw Curtis under the bus, but let's just say he doesn't work, okay?
Right.
That's fine. And I think it's also fine the other way if the woman wants to work and the man doesn't want to work. However, I think in that situation, it has to be very, very, very clear that these dynamics are healthy and they are authentically what each person wants to do. Because if not, it would only breed resentment.
The resentment of it all.
Particularly when you switch the gender roles.
I just looked up the school where Curtis is. I think I know where that is.
Oop.
Yeah.
Darren Hood, Audra irritates my nerves with a passion. Young Rich says, we agree with you, Quad seems like a friend of this season. She really does. Hey, Sherry, thank you again for the super sticker. I really appreciate it. She goes, you're welcome, fun show. I love the opulence, home decor, and fashions, along with them being doctors. It's fabulous. I think all the women are so gorgeous. I agree. Yes. This is the thing. Quiet as it's kept, the women are bad. Yes. The women are bad. Toya is beautiful. Even Dr. Heavenly, as much as her spirit irks me, she's still a pretty woman. She
is. Quad has body for days.
Yes.
Contessa had. Now let's get up into Contessa.
Oh, I forgot about Contessa. Girl.
Let me tell you something. First of all, I do not like her husband at all. I think
Dr.
allegedly
Scott.
He can be, I don't know if I can say that word, so I'm on these YouTube streets.
A user.
Yes.
Yeah.
A user.
Yeah.
Emotionally a user. It was very apparent.
Yes.
And I feel that he put a battery in her pack because her pseudo argument, she probably did feel that way, but I feel like he put a battery pack in her because, not saying you cannot bounce back from that, but I mean, come on, we all saw it. He was horrible last season, and this season it looks entirely way too fake and phony. It looks very polished.
You know my conspiracy theory on them? Let me tell you. So, very similar to a Dr. Jackie Curtis situation. Very similar. Because because remember on the show, Dr. Contessa said that they had separated, they were going to go through with the divorce, but then right before they were going to sign the papers to start the process of selling their house, that's when Dr. Scott had this, come to Jesus moment, this change of heart, and wanted to work on the relationship. He realizes he loves her, all this stuff. So I'm like, what is it about the selling of the house? What is it about the percentage? Whose name's on the deed? What is this? To me, this reeks of finances. Is Dr. Scott being shady and pretending that he wants to work on the marriage, and behind the scenes, maybe he's working out some deal on how he can maybe only have his name on the house, or get how they split the house, or maybe renegotiate some type of prenup situation? Because I don't believe in coincidence. I believe in conspiracy. So I think that the timing is everything.
Oh yeah.
Why did all of a sudden you have a change of heart the moment you were about to sell the house?
Manipulation.
So I think there's something baked in there. I think the reason why Dr. Contessa is going so hard at Heavenly is because I think Dr. Contessa realized, whoa, wait a minute. We're all talking about Dr. Scott. We're all calling him an A user. We're all talking about this stuff in our marriage. Wait a minute, we're both actually doctors. We both just opened up our own private practice. Our reputation matters. So the fact that now they're talking about him out there in the open, the fact that Heavenly went on there and co-signed it out of her presence. Because there's one thing for us to get up here and me to be like, oh, my boyfriend, blah, blah, blah. And you're like, yeah, girl, da, 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 da. It's another if I was up here talking about your man out of your presence. Those are two very different things. And so I think when Dr. Heavenly did that added additional fuel to the fire. So I think Contessa was like, hold up. I need to go on this show. I need to make like we're happy families because I need the clients to keep coming because this will affect my bag and my children's bag because they're doctors. So you can't be up on this show talking about this man is an A user and expect that not to mess up his reputation. Think about how hard they came for you when all you said was Dr. Jackie was boring.
Right.
So imagine if somebody's up here saying he's an A user and Dr. Heavenly's co-signing that and all this, that, and the third. Imagine how that affects his practice. And they're not in somebody else's hospital anymore. So it's really on the strength of
that's
their relationships because they started their practice together.
I forgot they
So
had their
there's
private
so
practice.
many things going on. And the fact that Heavenly is so selfish that she cannot see that her friend is hurting and is saying, listen, I'm not saying what you're saying isn't true. I'm saying what you said could really F us up. And I have some children. So it's like, hello, but Dr. Heavenly cannot see beyond herself to see the implications of what she's saying and doing. So even if Dr. Contessa was up there hee-haw and whatever, the moment she says, wait a minute, this is stopping my bag, this could actually affect my family, as her friend, that's the moment you should stop too.
Right. Heavenly is very emotionally immature.
Yes.
For someone that has absolutely no tact, and I don't care, I'll say what I want.
Yep.
But you can't say anything to her, and then she'll blow up. What did they say? Put 10 on 20 or 20?
Exactly.
I don't know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, Blue Devil, babe.
I can't wait to see Contessa next week.
I know.
We're going to have a lot on her with her show. And her body looks amazing.
But how did she do that so fast? Did they stop filming for like 3 months? Because I'm sorry, this episode, her body was not looking like that. Was it though?
It wasn't. She's never had a bad body at all.
No, never. I mean,
never.
I'm trying. Like, I'm trying.
Yeah, I can't wait. And she said she's what, 45?
45, yeah.
Yeah, her body looks good.
No, she looks amazing. But she wasn't that, is what I'm saying.
No, but she will be next week.
But she will be next week. That's why I was just like, did they stop filming? Darren says, I don't think Audra was at the reunion taping because Heavenly didn't mention her name. I hope she wasn't.
Wait, what did I miss?
I hope Audra wasn't at the reunion. Maybe, was Audra in this episode?
No.
Does she stop after the fight? Is she gone after the fight? Because last episode was the fight. The episode before last was the fight. Mm-hmm. And I don't think Audra was in this episode.
She wasn't.
And then and Darren saying she's not at the reunion.
I think she would be because that fight was huge.
Unless maybe Bravo's cracking down. Maybe they were like, I don't know. Oh, Young Rich says she goes on the trip. Okay, so she's still around. She's still around. And then Young Rich says, Contessa shuts it down next week with that body, I must say. No, her body was banging. Her body was everything. Yeah.
I didn't know they had a trip coming up. Oh, hell.
They always go on some stuff. Hey, Run Love. Says the first 2 seasons of Quad is what we want to see. Come back to the light, Quad. You're slowly fading away.
Thank you, Rum Love. That's exactly how I feel. Quad was she was that girl.
Yep.
Now she's definitely a watered down version of what we were seeing, and she gives nothing. I appreciate she has a house, but I'm sick of looking at the house and the breakfast bar and her nephew. I'm just be honest.
I know, little Mason. That's the thing. She need done. To be honest with you, I don't know if it's just like me being desensitized, but I don't even care about the sleeping with the contractor rumor. I don't even like to be honest, I'm kind of like, because it's just like I'm not shocked or surprised.
No.
Yes, it's wrong. If he is married, yes, it's dead wrong. That part is 100% wrong. But I'm just like, I don't really care. You know what it is? I'm not invested in Quad. That's why I just don't care, because I'm not invested. If I was I'm invested in Toya. So I don't believe the rumor that she was sleeping with someone in the neighborhood. I think they made that up on her. I don't believe that. I think Toya really is going through something, and she's really focusing on her own mental health. I think she's focused on getting her marriage back on track. I think she's focused on figuring out her finances and the housing stuff. I think she's focused on keeping her son safe. I don't think Toya is having an affair. And just from her reaction, it didn't track that she was.
I wouldn't be surprised if she was.
You think she is?
Allegedly. Yes. I can see her having an affair before her having a setup, a heist to rob what is it? To oh yeah, that's right. I did see that.
Which is kind of cheap of Bravo. I mean, we're talking about Bravo here.
So are we coming to the end of the season? It seems like this season's been long.
It's been a long season. It's episode, I don't even know what episode.
89?
Episode 9, maybe. Like, this is the thing. They can reel it on in, because as much as I like the season, I'm okay with it. Kind of like, you can bring it home, guys.
But put it like this. Yeah. I wouldn't mind if they ended the season after this cabin, because something is going to go down.
I'll take the cabin.
Yeah. The cabin, and then we can wrap it up, folks. We can wrap it up.
I agree. Darren has heavily revealed who's seen it where at the reunion. Oh, did she say Audra was there, Darren? Because Young Rick says she didn't mention her. Hey, Renee, Anila is dangerous with her mouth, and she is wrong for insinuating that Toya set them up. 100%. 100%.
I totally agree.
I totally agree with that. Like, you don't, I would be sending all types of cease and desist and all this stuff. Keep my name out your mouth, Anila. That's another one who has all the smoke for Toya, but inside so desperately wants her validation and her friendship back. Toya doesn't mess with you anymore, Anila, because you got on the show through Toya, and then you wanted to be in the Cool Girls Club, and you threw Toya to the wolves.
Oh, I forgot about that last season, right?
Yep, because Toya and Contessa were beefing hard. Remember? I forgot over what. Something dumb, probably. But they were beefing hard. Toya and Contessa used to beef really, really hard. This is the thing. The people who are close now, they're close because they beef with Heavenly. Toya.
Trauma bonding.
It's a trauma bonding. Toya, Dr. Contessa, and Simone, they're all super close now because Heavenly dicked all of them over systematically. But don't forget, Anila came to the show through Toya. And I think Toya really was big upping her to get her on the show. And then she got on the show and she was having one-on-ones with Contessa, inviting Contessa over. Then she was all up Dr. Heavenly's butt. She befriended all of the women who was going against Toya.
I forgot
at that particular time, and then they had a big falling out. And then Toya was like, "Oh, well, you're going to be all in these girls' faces who don't check for me, but I got you on the show. Well, I'm going to expose the fact that you didn't pay the makeup person and the hair person." And they had that big blow up on the bus when they went away. And she was like, "Why don't you pay him?" She's like, "Well, I'm going to pay him." She's like, "Well, you didn't pay him." And they had that big fight. And then ever since then, they had that huge falling out.
I remember now.
But I'm like, this is the thing. And this is the thing. We don't have to stay friends with anyone. Even if somebody does get you on a show, you still don't have to stay friends with someone who you don't want to stay friends with. But I think Anila wants to be friends with Toya. That's why Toya's name is in her mouth every other second. She's so desperate to get her friendship back. But B, you don't have to go against them either. To me, that's what loyalty is. Loyalty isn't I have to rock with you and ride with you at all costs, at all times, no matter what. To me, loyalty is I'm going to keep your secrets. I'm not going to go after you if you've really been there for me. That's what loyalty is. Loyalty is I'm still going to hold down the sacredity of what we had, whether it was a romantic relationship, whether it was just a friendship, whether it's family. Loyalty does not mean I have to keep you in my life if it's not detrimental. And that's where I think people get it wrong. And that's why I think Anila is disloyal. Say you didn't want to hang out with Toya. Say you just wasn't checking for her anymore. That's cool. But to systematically and actively try and go after her, always talk down to her, always gossip about her, rebel and all that stuff, that to me where I'm like, you're disloyal. And Karma has everybody's address. And clearly they literally had your address with this alleged robbery, Anila.
Literally.
You should have showed up at the Halloween party as, ADT instead of trying to show up as the movers, the U-haulers. You should have showed up as ADT. You should have showed up as ADT and had your house locked down.
How about
for your alleged robbery? How convenient. Everybody just happened not to be home.
And she didn't rattle Toya then. Matter of fact, Eugene was the one that was a lot more upset. But of course, that
Eugene
was
was
his
hurt.
manhood. Yeah, that was a byproduct of Toya being disrespectful. And, these women on this show seem very passive aggressive.
Yep. Oh, extremely. And they always use other people as their mouthpiece. Beat says Anila has only the smoke when she has someone around. Exactly. She had to bring 6 friends, cousins, and in-laws. Get the hell out of here, Anila.
Now, speaking of that, I loved how Toya didn't give a damn. She was about to take all of them out on that sofa by herself. She didn't need to. I said, wow, okay, Detroit, let's get
Come
it.
through. Let's get it. And did you see how, this is what I can't stand. When people have all this smoke, but then they're actually cowards when they're in the face of someone who is authentic in their power. Because say whatever you want about Toya. Toya shows up as Toya. And all those women were bickering behind her back. Oh, she's sleeping with somebody. Oh, she said my dress was this. Oh, she's sleeping with somebody. And then when Toya said, who said it? They all were like, I don't know who said it. Who said it? I didn't say it. Who said that? Who said that? I didn't say anything. But they, even as a group, they had all this smoke. But even as a group, when Toya just said, who said that? They all got shook. She's I'm gonna put my shoe in your face or your neck, whatever she said. She said, who said that?
Oh man. I wanted one of those ladies to say something just to see what was going to happen. Meanwhile, we have Quad's auntie screaming in the background.
Yep. And that's true, Young Rich. Contessa was trying to choke Toya Harris a long ago and called her husband. Yep.
Do I have a reality show amnesia? How did I forget?
There's a lot that goes on. Remember when Robin said that she was going to choke Ashley with her umbrella? On Potomac.
Up there. I do remember. Wait, Potomac is coming on soon, isn't it?
Potomac's going to be good. Potomac is going to be good.
I cannot wait.
Yep. Young Rich, don't even say anything about Candace. Don't even say anything. He always be in my chat trolling me about Candace.
He likes Candace.
He does. I can't stand her.
I'm talking straight to you, Young. What's the name?
Young Rich. Young Rich Skinny.
We don't like Candace, okay? But I like your name, so okay. I'll take it right.
Yes.
All fun and games.
Yes. We love her. Renee Flood says, and why did it have to be Toya considering all the robberies and attempts that Roa me too? Exactly. Yeah, that's what we were saying before. It's just like, I don't think Toya had anything to do with this break-in.
She didn't.
Absolutely not. I think that I think it's one of two things. Either it was a money grab for insurance. I'm not saying that because that's a very deep thing to say, and I don't have a gut feeling on that. So that's just one thing people are saying. I'm not saying that. And then the other one, which I think is more likely, they were just targeted by the people who were just doing all the stings of the athletes and celebrities and people.
I think that's what it was.
Me too.
I do. Honestly, I really hope Toya does do something about that allegation. I really don't think it's true. And I really hope she does say something, or Anila has some kind of repercussions for making that, or excuse me. Yeah. Quad and Anila, correct?
Quad, Anila, and Heavenly. Because Quad was talking to Heavenly about it.
See, that's not good.
Yeah. And Carrie, because Carrie said that Toya was the one who said that there was a hit out.
Yeah, I'm tired of Carrie too.
Yeah.
She's a non-factor.
Yeah. Young Rich. We are a Dr. Emily Candace Dillard support group. Y'all going to stand by mid-season watch. No, I'm not, because this is the thing. Just because Candace is getting it from Giselle and everybody else does not negate the fact that it's karma coming back to Candace.
Is she really? This is her season to stand up.
Yeah. This is her season to stand up.
It's time.
It's time.
Past due.
It's time.
Yeah.
And speaking of time, thank you guys. This has been so much fun.
It was fun.
So much fun. I want to thank my beautiful guest, Ursula. Again, she is from Black Girls Getting Their Shift Together. I will have that linked down below in the show notes. Look, the sun has gone down. I have like no more light.
I said, well, is it my glasses?
No, it's the sun. The sun is going down over here. The sun is setting. So we're out here in the dark in LA, guys. It's going down. And I thank you so much, Sherry, for the super chat. I really appreciate it. Thank you, all of my beautiful candy canes, for coming through and holding us down. Thank you, BH Puff 3. This was so much fun. And if you've had fun, if you're enjoying this, you know what to do. Like this video. It really helps me with the algorithm. And subscribe. And also share this with a friend. I'm really trying to grow, and it really helps me. Also, check out the description box below. You will find a link to Black Girls Getting Their Shift Together's YouTube channel, where you can go and like and subscribe her and watch her as well. And also all our other goodies, and shop the Love Collection. Treat yourself. So with that, you guys, I love you. Ursula, any parting words?
No. Well, yeah, I had fun. And I'm glad, this is how we are in flow, because we can just, are we ready? Okay, let's go. Press play. So it was fun. And the candy canes are so fun. I loved all the comments. And, you have to me as a viewer, you have a very refined group of followers. So
yes,
you really do.
My candy canes, I love you guys. Like, I have to co-sign that. I have one of the most positive and supportive and genuine and loyal and smart community over here. So I'm just really super grateful and appreciative of my candy cane community. I really love you guys. You really don't understand how much fun I have and how honored I am when you guys just come and hang out with me. I love it. It's everything.
That's awesome. Oh, she said we love you. I believe it. I do too as well. But thank you all, candy canes, for engaging in my foolishness.
Oh, Young Rich, we will be doing it for Real Hop. Yes, we will be doing it for Real Hop 100%.
Nice. Yes. Thanks for having me on, Candy.
All right, you guys, you know what to do. Take care of yourself and each other. I love you. Bye.
Welcome to Sugar Pills, a practical guide to self-care, where your host, writer, actor, and producer Candy Washington helps you live a more joyful life with a cheeky dash of pop culture news. Be sure to subscribe, leave a 5-star review, and join the conversation on Instagram @Candy Washington. Let's go.